attended a makeup school in Korea, so you guys don't have to, because I'm going to be teaching you everything that they taught me. Also, the makeup school was fully in Korean, so if you can't speak Korean, it might be a little bit difficult to learn makeup from them. First of all, what we do, I've already done my skin prep, and skin prep is so important to make sure that your skin is going to be glowy and beautiful, because let's be real, if your skin is not prepped, your makeup's not going to make up. I've already put on my sunscreen. Today I've used the Shy Enjoy the Sun. This is the first time I've actually used this sunscreen, so let's see if it actually looks good underneath my makeup. But I love the texture on my skin right now. My skin literally looks amazing right now. What I like to do, I like to create, now they didn't teach me this, but I like to do this. I go in with the All Day Tight Makeup Fix setting spray, and I actually put that on before I start my makeup. I find that by doing this, it's made my makeup last like so much longer. In order to understand what the Korean makeup style is, basically they really like to focus on more natural beauty. I'm really talking about in terms of everyday looks, what girls on the street prefer, and for that means that the skin has to look really beautiful, like you're not even wearing makeup. In order to achieve this finish, I really love to color correct. By color correcting, it means that you actually use less foundation, and that's kind of the goal here, because by using less foundation, it means that your skin looks like just really healthy, beautiful skin. So what I use is I use these sponges. I get them from Daiso. They're my favorite. And also I'm using this color corrector. It's a green color corrector, and I also got this from Daiso. It's called Personal Layering by IPKN. And I don't know, interesting. However, as you can see, like, I love my cheap makeup, I love my expensive makeup. If it does a really good job, I'm happy. For me, I have some slight redness, so what I'm gonna do, I'm using green to cancel out the redness. You can see I go in really lightly with the color corrector, and I go in with a very slight dapping motion. My skin still looks like skin. She looks super glowy, and I like that. The Cover Perfection Concealer Pot by Sim, and it's really used for color correcting. I love this product, but I do know a lot. Where's my Vaseline? I'll be right back. Okay, we got my Vaseline. This Vaseline has been with me for like a couple of years. I don't know when it's ever gonna run out, but she and me, we're tight. I know a lot of people struggle with this concealer pot. I love it, but I also understand why people struggle with it. And it's because it does kind of make your under eyes look a little bit dry. So honestly, I think the formulation should probably make it more hydrating. But how I prevent this is I take a tiny little bit of Vaseline, and then I just kind of dab it in underneath my eyes. I will say, perhaps if you are milia prone, maybe don't do this. But if you're not prone to milia, this is a great tip, especially if you have really dry under eyes or you have dry skin. This can make your concealer look 10 times less cakey. I only go in with a little bit because I don't have really dry skin. Also, while we're at it, let's just moisturize the lips. Boop, boop, boop. And I conceal my under eyes. I like to use this is like a paintbrush. I'm pretty sure it's meant for like eyeshadow, but the reason why I prefer having a flat brush is because I like to thin out my product. So that means I can control how much I want on my face. I'm going in with the pink shade. Just gonna apply a good amount on my brush. Now, using this palette, I'm just gonna make sure that the product is evenly applied on both sides of the brush, and then I go underneath my eyes. I'm just gonna get up really close so you guys can see what I'm doing. You can see, like, there's not a lot of product on my brush, so I'm just applying it where I need it. If I need a little bit more, I go in with a little bit more. I need it just here. I also like to lighten this part in here, but I like to just use the excess. I'm also going here, and then I'm just going to conceal up here, here. With any acne that I might have coming up, actually my skin's really good right now, but I just like to put the green color corrector on any place that is more red. I actually bought these off AliExpress. They're these little mini cushion puffs, and I love them because you can really get into like all the nooks and crannies of your face. I'm just going to be blending it out. Honestly, this is kind of a workout. You don't have to go to the gym if you do makeup like this. Anyway, this is how my base is looking right now. Today I'm going to be using Hint's cushion foundation. I want to show you guys how to use cushion foundation. Now, cushion foundation is meant for more like layering. You don't want to just go like fully in. It'll just look cakey if you do that. So I'm going to show you guys how I like to do it. I first like to use the cushion puff. I'm going to put the product on here. You can even use like the inside, but I'm just going to use the outside because it's easier. I tap out all the excess product. Then I evenly apply the foundation. I just kind of pat the foundation in with very thin layers until I feel like I've gotten the coverage that I desire. However, since we've done all the color correcting and concealer beforehand, your skin ends up looking like amazing skin. I've really been loving the House of Her Moist Ample Blusher. So this is the blusher I'm going to be using today. In my opinion, I think the best way to use this blusher is actually not directly applying it to your face, but putting it on a little palette like this, and then you tap it onto a sponge and then you apply it on your face. And because it has a serum like consistency, it looks really natural, which is what I'm going for today. Do you see that? So pretty. I'm also just going to put a little bit of my eyes to just balance it out. Beautiful. I love that. Okay, let's do my brows. So I'm gonna take a spoolie. I'm just gonna brush them out. Perfect. Now, I used to really fill in my eyebrows because I was very insecure about how sparse they were, but now I have a preference to just kind of fill them in where needed. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of product at the end using a angled brush. Now I'm just using a brow powder. I have no idea what brow powder this is. My mum gave it to me and I don't know, I've been using it for the past couple of years, but it's my favorite. So if anyone recognizes what brow powder that is, let me know, because when I run out, I think I'm going to be very sad. Also, what I like to do, I take a graphite pencil actually, and I just go where it needs just a little bit more coverage. Now this is actually what we learned at the makeup school. They use graphite to shape the brows. I don't know if it's safe, but so far my brow hairs have not fallen out, so I see that as a good sign. Then with my concealer brush, I don't use any new product, but I'm just slightly shaping my brows. By doing this, it will literally just like bring it all together. You get what I mean? Wow, my brow routine is literally just me using products 10 years ago. I don't know where this is from. Oh, it's from the Face Shop. I think I got this from for $1. It was crazy cheap. I like to extend the shape of my brow. Then we just brush them out one more time. I am going to do my eyes. I'm going to be using this palette by Roman, and it is the Better Than palette in 05 shade and shadow, because I'm just going for a natural look today. I'm going to be using this flat brush to apply my eyeshadow. Now taking this shade and this shade, mixing them together, I'm going to tap out the excess on the back of my hand, and then I'm just going to get up close. Just tapping the product into the crease, just kind of bringing it down. Also, I'm just going to be looking at myself because I'm not going to use a mirror, but I'm just going to take a little bit and place it underneath my eyes. Now, I know that some people like this and some people don't, but I like having a bit of an egg yolk side. As you can see naturally, I already have one. I'm just going to take this middle color right here, and we're just going to put slightly underneath. So with the two end colors, I'm just going to mix them in, tap the excess off on the back of my hand. It's really simple. Then I'm just going to be just making my eyelash line a little bit darker. I'm really only focusing on the outside of my eyes. And then winging it not up, but just with the natural shapes of my eyes. So if your eyes go upwards, go upwards. If they go downwards, go downwards. And this will just elongate and make your eyes appear bigger. I am going to go in with the Roman Black Spectrum palette. This is in BO Free. This shade, let me show you guys. It's so pretty. I'm gonna first use just a little brush, and then I'm gonna go in with my finger to build up the color. You can see it has like kind of a pinky shimmer to it, and it's so pretty, especially in real life. And I'm gonna go in, this is a personal preference, they actually don't really do a lot of inner corner highlight, but I love inner corner highlight, so I'm gonna do it. So now that I've got my placement down, I like to use my finger, and then I'm just gonna put it really above my eyelids. Do you see that? How pretty is that? Okay, now for eyeliner. This one is by Choco Lab. Wait, Chocho Lab? It's the brush print eyeliner in black. This one sold at Daiso. I go through so many eyeliners and I always just like mess them up. So I just like really cheap eyeliners, and this is my favorite cheap eyeliner. It lasts all day. With my eyeliner, I'm actually not going to speak. I'm just going to show. I follow the natural shape of my eyes. Now, what my eye shape is, I don't have mono lids, but when I open them, you can't see any of my crease. So I don't like putting eyeliner here because, like, first of all, you're not going to see it. Second of all, it just makes my eyes look kind of heavy. So for me, I only put eyeliner on the outer sides. I've just followed the natural shapes of my eyes. Then I'm going underneath my lash line. And there we are, that's my eyeliner. I also recommend, if you don't want it to budge, setting it with a black eyeshadow. That could be really good. Because I want to make it look a little bit more natural, I'm just going back in with this brown, taking a little brush. Lovely, that looks good. I also just want to take that shadow. I'm going to be going in with mascara. I love the Holika mascaras. These have been my favorite since 2021. I've literally bought like 5 of these. You can see that it's getting a little bit This is one of my favorite mascaras ever. I feel like it's really good at holding the curl. But as you can see, I don't have much left. So we're really just working with what is left in the tube. And whenever I wear this mascara, people always ask me, they're like, oh, are you wearing lashes today? But no, I'm not, because the secret is you go in with the lengthening one after. I find by using this duo, it is chef's kiss. Wow, don't they look so good? The part that we've all been waiting for, how I contour my nose. My favorite nose contour brush is this. I stole it from my mum several years ago. I think it's an eyeshadow brush, but I really like the angle tip. It means I can be super precise when I contour my nose, which is what I always aim for. I'm going in with the Too Cool for School by Art Class. Wait, Too Cool for School Art Class by Rodin. It's in the shade 03. I like to just use the middle color. I think it works best for a natural nose contour, and this has really changed. I think my nose contour and my base makeup are the 2 biggest things that have changed about, and my eyeliner, since coming to Korea and actually learning how to do makeup like more the Korean way. What I like to do is I first go underneath the tip of my nose because I like to shorten my nose a little bit, like that. Super simple. Then I like to contour my nose bridge, so just on either side. Put most of the product here, but then I brush it out to make it look more natural. I basically just go down the length of my nose, and then I brush out the product. Go down the length of my nose, and then I brush out the product. And that's how I contour my nose. It's super quick. I don't really like to do anything else than that because I like my nose to look really natural in real life. With the same palette, I like to contour around my chin, also just here. I'm going to be using a little bit of powder because, as you can see, it's very glossy here. Just with a powder puff, I'm going to be taking out the excess. I don't really like to powder my face too much. just enough to set it all in. One of my favorite products I do love is this the Dior Backstage Glow palette. As you can see, she is well loved. I love this palette so much. I'm just going in with the pink shade, and then I'm just putting that on my cheeks to highlight the apples of my cheeks. I also am going to be using the brown shade of this palette. I'm just going to take a little bit and kind of place it on the outskirts of my face. In Korean makeup, they definitely do not use any bronzer at all, but I don't know, I like to mix the two. I know how to do Western makeup, I know how to do Korean makeup, and if I know how to do both, why not combine both? Okay, now it's time for lips. Since we've put on the Vaseline, it's now fully absorbed. I'm using this one by Roman. This lip liner is more to make your lips look slightly bigger, but it's definitely not meant to create a super defined crease. For me, I like to make my lips look ever so slightly more plump. Then I actually like to go back in with the House of Her Moist Ample Blusher. I think this looks so pretty on my lips. Then I'm using this gloss by Hera. This is so pretty as well. We're just going to go in with the setting spray. And here's the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know I'm still not the best at explaining things. Obviously, if you have any questions about why I did certain things or you want any further explanations, let me know. Bye!